take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile. Well, it's you, girl, and you should know.
Hi, so welcome to another episode of History Hunters from Kansas City, Missouri. I'm here at the Sheffield Cemetery, high atop the hill. This is a Jewish cemetery, and I'm here to find the grave of a very popular TV actor who passed away a couple years ago. His name is Ed Asner. I'll talk to you about his career and show you his grave here on this episode of History Hunters.
Make it after all.
We are on a hill full of Jewish graves in Kansas City, here just to focus on one, and that is the grave of Ed Asner. And there's no mistaking that this is the Asner family plot. And right here is the grave of Ed Asner, and you can tell people have remembered him with rocks placed here on his memorial marker. He lived from November 15th, 1929 to August 29th, 2021. So he passed away less than 2 years ago. You probably know Ed Asner because he was one of the stars of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. He was Lou Grant. He was in charge of the newsroom.
Lou Grant was a newsroom producer with a tough and grumpy demeanor which hid his kind-hearted nature. Everyone called him Lou except for Mary, who can rarely bring herself to call him anything other than Mr. Grant. In 2007, Time magazine placed the Mary Tyler Moore Show on its list of 17 shows that changed TV. Time stated that the series, quote, liberated TV for adults of both sexes by being a sophisticated show about grown-ups, among other grown-ups, having grown-up conversations.
Now that it's over, I don't feel as bad as I thought I was going to. In fact, I feel pretty good, I really do. And I owe it all to you. Thanks.
What's the matter? You got ice water in your veins? You realize this is the last time we'll all see this room?
Of course I realize it, Mr. Grant. I don't really feel good. That's why I wanted to say to you...
Mary, you promised.
Mr. Grant, why won't you let me say what I want to say?
Because you'll just make a big deal out of it. That's why, and I don't want that. In case I don't see you again, I'd just like to say... so long.
Mr. Grant. Mr. Grant.
I treasure you people.
And he later had a spin-off show called The Lou Grant Show. But his career started in 1950 and ended at his death. For all his hard work, he received 25 awards and was nominated 47 times. The major awards that he won were 5 Golden Globe Awards and 7 Primetime Emmy Awards. So from 1957 to about 2012, he appeared in a great number of TV shows, including Rhoda. He was in Gunsmoke, the Western series. He was in Roots, the miniseries. And he was also in The Fugitive and The Mod Squad. He also did voiceovers for video games as well. He actually attended Wyandotte High School here in Kansas City, where his family had moved to, and he also attended the University of Chicago. He worked on the GM assembly line and served in the U.S. Army Signal Corps. While there, he was part of a touring group that performed all over Europe for the troops. He served 2 terms as president of the Screen Actors Guild. He was married twice and divorced at the time of his death. He had 4 children. Now, also buried here are his brothers Benjamin and Labe and his sister Eve. Let's try to find their graves. Here's an Uncle Clarence Asner, died in 1967. Let's go over here and see if we can find his siblings. And I believe that's his father, Morris David Asner. Lizzie Asner, his mother. Right here is his brother Benjamin Asner, died in 1986. This would be his sister Eve. Here's Labe Asner, brother of Ed Asner, died in 2017. Right here on the backside of Ed Asner's marker says beloved father, grandfather, uncle, brother, and son of Kansas City. He had spunk.
Ed also provided the voice talents for many cartoons, notably the Pixar production of Up, in which he gave character Carl Fredricksen his voice. Now for some things you may not know about Asner. He originally planned to go into journalism but was dissuaded when his father said there was no money in his chosen career.
So I went on to become the overnight sensation as an actor that you see before you.
Asner was also a Democrat socialist and a strong Hollywood labor unionist. He proudly wore the badge of being a socialist, saying this once, quote, "Socialist means a thing that will curb the excesses of capitalism, the increasing wealth of the rich, and the decreasing wealth of the poor. I'd like to see a national guarantee of health, a national guarantee of education, through college, fair housing, and sufficient food." It's commonly accepted that his leftist views are what caused the popular Lou Grant series to be canceled in 1982. Shuffling politics aside, Asner had a heart for the downtrodden of society and did what he could to raise funds for humanitarian causes. Ed Asner was a strong advocate for autism awareness as he had several grandchildren with the disorder, and he also worked to raise funds to help support other families in need.
So a lot of you know that I am an autograph collector, and I have this quirky little habit of sending out cardstock to celebrities and asking them to draw themselves and sign their artwork. Ed Asner participated in that, and I thought what he drew was kind of a good likeness of him. He also signed some photos for me, so I think he was a pretty decent guy. Hey, I want to thank you so much for joining us on this very short episode of History Hunters. Let us know what your feelings were about Ed Asner and some of the work that he was in. Of course, you probably all remember him from the Mary Tyler Moore Show and his spin-off show as well. Every time Christmas rolls around as well, you see him in the movie Elf. So he had a varied and very interesting career. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of History Hunters.